Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing well out there. My name is Thomas Taylor III, coming to you live once again from Lawrenceville, Georgia, on this July 17th, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost through with July already. So, hope everybody's having a great weekend. I had a busy weekend. My 27th wedding anniversary was on Friday, so we went out. Then yesterday, I took a couple of young men that I mentored down to Fort Valley. Had a great day, this evening. Got some things going on, so I hope everybody's doing well out there. Well, hey, look, I got a topic that I want to talk to you about because I was actually talking to some good friends of mine. Hey, good morning, Bev. I was talking to some good friends of mine, and one of my friends asked me to talk about a topic that he is kind of dealing with, and it's actually fear, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a topic that I touched on before, but I kind of got a special request. So I'm kind of, going to keep it short, but it's actually a topic that, I'll probably send out a Facebook, Zoom link so we could all kind of get on and talk about it from different angles because, this topic is a topic that everybody's familiar with. And it's fear, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. Just that simple. Fear. It's just fear of the unknown and it's a fear of change. So he kind of wanted me to, talk about it a little bit, to the point where, I could give some suggestions in terms of things that you feel can actually help, right? So fear, right, is something that unfortunately we all deal with. And what is it about? Hey, good morning, Brother Good. It's fear of change, right? And in terms of fear, the question is, what's holding you back from doing the things that you know you were destined and designed to do? Why? Why is that important? Because unfortunately, sometimes fear causes depression. And then you start into this spiral motion, right? And you didn't say anything to anybody, but it's in your head that, you're fearful of doing certain things. And then you start to get depressed and you start to go in the opposite direction, right? So sometimes we look at fear as something that's this large thing, right? But just think about this for a quick moment, right? If you took that fear, that thing, because sometimes the reason why we're fearful is because we're actually looking at something else that we feel is so large, larger than us, that we kind of can't get through it, right? It even keeps some people in the house, ladies and gentlemen. It just really does. So let's kind of take it in smaller bites. So if there's something that you're fearful of, let's just make a daily goal just for today. All right. So for instance, if you're an introvert and you don't really like to talk to people, right? Set yourself a goal and actually say you're gonna call one person today. That's it. You're gonna do one thing today, right? So it's not so large, right? So whatever that fear is that you have, just set yourself a small daily goal to accomplish it, right? You don't have to tell nobody. You just do it yourself, right? Because remember that fear that you have, you didn't tell nobody about that fear either. But that fear is just binding you, right? It's just holding you. Just set a small daily goal, right? And then the next thing I want you to do is I just kind of want you to meditate, right? Meditate on that, right? See yourself completing that particular task. Why? Now, why is that important? That's important because everything starts in your mind, right? That's why they talk about fear, false evidence appearing real, right? Just the acronym. It's in your mind. Why? Because you haven't gone out there and actually conducted a survey and asked people, is the fear that you're feeling real? You never did that, right? So just think about this. If you never confirmed your fear with anybody, that means you don't have to talk to anybody about visualizing you completing it, right? In terms of meditation, just the meditation part. Meditate on understanding, like, how does it feel to overcome it, right? Very, very, very simplistic, right? Again, you don't got to talk to nobody. You don't have to get anybody's permission because you'll start to feel a particular way about you conquering that thing that's holding you. So there's something interesting about, this thing called fear. And what happens is we feel that the fear that we're feeling on this particular level, that once we conquer it, because we always talk about conquering our fears, but do you? The fear that you feel you have is on the level that you're on, right? So this morning, what I'm talking about is understanding that when you get past that, and when you get to the next level, guess what? There's going to be another level of fear, right? So it keeps going, but this is the difference though. You moved. See, you're no longer in that place that you used to be, that you were stuck, right? Feeling a little bit depressed, thinking nobody cares, thinking nobody loves you, right? All these things just in your mind. So the meditation piece will put you to a point where you start to breathe right. You start to feel yourself past that thing that had you stuck. And you don't have to talk to nobody about it, right? And then the last thing is the visualization. Now, why is that important? The visualization is important because what I want you to do is think of these things in steps, okay? That first step, let's say I made that phone call, right? Or if you have a product or a service, say you bake cakes, right? And you're afraid that, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're afraid that somebody may be kind of critical of your cakes, but you got the best cakes or you got the best ribs in town, brother. Good. You got the best, smoked ribs in town, but you're afraid to actually get out there and talk to somebody about that product, about those ribs, about that cake, right? The visualization piece is important, right? Why? Because I want you to visualize you actually talking to that person, marketing, they love your cakes, they love your ribs. So what does that mean? That means you have to get through the first piece is actually talking to people. That's the part that binds you. That's the part that fears you because you know your product is good. You know that because family members tasted your stuff, a lot of friends, everybody tasted it, right? They said, "Oh man, you got the best cooking in town, brother. Good." You know your stuff is good, but are you fearful to market it past your family and friends? You see, so the visualization piece will actually have you visualizing people saying good things about your cooking, right? So what does that make you do? That puts you in a position where now you have to talk to more people, right? You have to get on Facebook. You have to market your product. You have to market what you do because you already visualized how people are going to respond. Because what happens is the fear, right? The fear of rejection, right? The fear of them not liking your product. I promise you, it binds you, it holds you, right? But you know it's good though. You know it's good. You know that for a fact. But nobody sat down and talked to you about the marketing. Hey, good morning, Eric. Nobody talked to you about how do you talk to people about what you do? You see that piece? That piece, and I was talking to my partners about that piece, that fear. Now we start to say, oh man, what they said about me was true. You ain't never gonna be no good. You just like your father. You just like your mom. They wasn't nothing. You ain't gonna be nothing. Right? So those things start to permeate in our head. We hit that play button and we play those things over and over and over, and we don't move, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm here this morning to tell you something that nobody's really talking about. And that is for those that read that book sometimes that I read somewhere in Genesis, it talks about how we were made. It says, you were made in your creator's likeness. You were made in your creator's image. You know what that means? That means anything, I promise you, anything you put your mind to, you can do. Why? Because he's already given you the ability to get it done. Here's the question, ladies and gentlemen. Can you stay focused long enough to witness the manifestation of what has already been completed? Why is that? Because somewhere around that seventh day, what did he do? He rested. Once he rested, it was done. So that thing that you are afraid of, that's holding you back, you already have the power. You already have the dominion over it. It's in your mind that you think you don't. That's all it is, right? It's just a mind trick, right? And that mind trick, unfortunately, has been going on for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm here today to tell you, today is the day for you and I that all of that stops. Why? Because I want you to move. I want you to move past that point where you feel you're stuck. Because everybody gets to that place, ladies and gentlemen, right? So the reason why that's important is because there's another level for you. Then there's another level. Then there's another level, right? But we have to get out the basement. Today's the day we get out the basement, right? And I want you to just move. I want you to understand these things that I'm talking about. Start to visualize some things, start to meditate, and actually do one thing. That's all I want you guys to do for me today. Just do one thing today that you felt that you was afraid of not to do because of what somebody else would think or what somebody else would say. Today's the day. Just want you to do one thing, right? And what happens, ladies and gentlemen, is you start, I promise you, you'll start to create momentum, right? Again, I said it the other day. I read the book. John C. Maxwell has a book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. He talks about the law of the mo. And I always use myself as an example, right? The reason why I'm still doing Facebook Lives is I was challenged by my coach, Mr. Sean Rais, almost 18 months ago, right? Say, I'm a coach. I'm a visionary coach. Oh, you are? Do people know that that's what you do, Thomas? I'm like, ooh, maybe not, right? He challenged us to go live, ladies and gentlemen. Go live? Like, I ain't went live a day in my life, and I don't feel that there's no need to go live. That's what I was saying, man. He's like, yeah, go live and talk to people, right? Tell people what you do. Help those people that need to hear your voice. I was like, ooh, okay. So I went live, ladies and gentlemen. Was I afraid? Yeah, look at my first one, man. I was shaking, man. My mouth was dry. I had to drink some water. I didn't know what was going on, but I did it anyway, right? I felt that fear and I did it anyway, right? And now almost 18 months later, still going live, got my website. I moved past that. But was it fearful? Yeah, because they say going live on Facebook is like public speaking, right? People just don't want to do it because they're just so afraid, right? But again, the reason why I'm saying this is the more you do that thing that's holding you back, the more you conquer it, the better you get. But the goal, ladies and gentlemen, is to start, right? Do not let anything, I don't care what it is, hold you back from doing what you know that you're destined, that you have the wherewithal, that you were created to do. And don't worry about competition. Don't worry about, well, somebody might be doing it. Well, this person on Facebook doing it. You know why I don't worry about that? Because they'll never, I mean, never do it the way you do. My brother Good is on here. He cooks, man. Woo, best cooking in Gwinnett County, man. This brother can burn. This brother can burn. Look him up, man. Anthony Good, right? He can burn. He can cook, right? He can go. But there's something that could be holding him back, right? For not believing that himself, because he's good at what he does, right? Right. So these little things, right, can move us past and can set you up, also can set our family up for a whole nother level. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time because you know I can go. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put something out there where we can actually, talk about some things. Hey, good morning, Con. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Talking about fear, talking about that thing that holds us back, that thing that kind of gets us in that depressed mode and that depressed state. So again, today's challenge, ladies and gentlemen, was do something today that you have been fearful of, that's been holding you back for God knows how long, right? If you don't believe that you can do it, borrow my belief. Watch this again. Share this with your friends. Watch this again, right? And the challenge is do one thing today. That's it, right? Don't make it just do one thing today. That's it, right? And then see how that feels, right? Meditate on it, visualizing what that next step is going to be. But you realize you can't get to that next step until you do that step today. If you guys want to, contact me, or if you want to get on my calendar, my website is tailoryourdreams.com. All my information is on there. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I can go, but it's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege, right? So today's challenge is, what are you afraid of? Whatever it is, and I don't care what it is, today's the day to conquer it, right? And let's kind of talk in the chat, man. Let me know what you did, right? Let me know what you're gonna do. How about that one? Let's put in there what you're gonna do. I'm gonna put mine first. Let me know what you're gonna do so we can keep each other accountable, because that's very important. Accountability. Started working out, man. Dropped about 15, almost 20 pounds with my partner Alpine. Why is that important? Because we hold each other accountable, right? To break past certain, obstacles and our fear, accountability. So hey, we got Facebook for now. Let's utilize this platform to start to hold each other accountable, right? I'm gonna put mine in there first, ladies and gentlemen. So hey, this is gonna be great. But again, my name is Thomas Taylor III. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Go out there and make today a great day. I'll talk to you guys soon.